Got another one of these sleepless nights going. Tossing and turning. Can't find no peace in that bed. If you can't find peace in your own bed, where can you find it? Gotta get these demons out. Gotta expel something, get it off my chest maybe. Because I've been thinking. About the murder of Luke Skywalker. Now, not the literal murder. Nobody went and capped his ass, execution style or otherwise. That's not what happened. The ethos of Luke Skywalker was murdered, and it happened right before everyone's eyes. We were all there, we all bore witness. We should all be pulled into court. Who did it, young man? It was Rian Johnson. He murdered the spirit of Luke Skywalker. We all know who Luke Skywalker is. Farm boy from Tatooine. Big dreams. Big aspirations. He was an easy character to kind of project yourself onto. You related to Luke Skywalker because Luke Skywalker was not perfect. He made a lot of mistakes. A lot of inner struggle. He was not born pure, if you will. And that's something we can all relate to. We all could relate to. He goes on his great journey. Becomes a Jedi. Finds balance within himself, which also brings balance to the Force. Understanding that it's all part of some sort of symbiotic relationship. And making peace with that is really the only way forward. Taking the good with the bad. Understanding yourself. Emotional maturity. It's kind of what his character is all about. What do they do in The Last Jedi? They turn him into a petty, pedantic, shallow shadow of his former self. At the core of the problem is the relationship between Luke Skywalker and Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren. Ben was Luke's Padawan at one point, his student. And Luke fails him. Fails him in a big way. He's falling subject to the same things that happened to the Jedi in the time of his father. Hubris, arrogance. Thinking that premonition beats all. But he knows better. He should have known better. He is a testament to the human spirit. And he knows that just because something is possible does not make it destiny. So he goes into exile after failing Ben Solo. On some sort of island, on some sort of water planet. And he completely loses himself. Completely becomes a contradictory character. It's not just the fact that he becomes a hypocrite in his time there. It's the fact that there is nothing that this story does to make the argument that Luke Skywalker would ever get to this point. Ever. We're talking about the man who saved the soul of his father, Anakin Skywalker. He found good in Darth Vader. And he fought for that. At great personal cost. It wasn't just because it was the only way forward. It wasn't because of the rebels. It wasn't because of the larger war. No, this was a spiritual war for Luke Skywalker. It's very archetypal. He had to go into the depths, save his father from the underworld. And he succeeds. And the soul of his father finds peace, and Luke Skywalker learns to balance himself. Like I said, emotional maturity. But when it comes to another fallen soul, someone that's also lost their way, and lost their way partially due to the actions of himself, when he almost strikes Ben Solo down in a fit of paranoia, what does he do? He smugly turns his fucking back. He takes on the point of view that Ben Solo is now Kylo Ren and he cannot be saved. And he goes and has a dickhead off with him. And to add insult to injury, he doesn't even go there physically. No, they make some stupid thing where he force projects himself onto another planet. He doesn't even go there to take personal responsibility for his actions. So not only does he fail Ben Solo, he fails Luke Skywalker. He fails himself. And then he goes there and he acts like a child, like a petulant, petty, pedantic, shallow shadow of his former self. The little fight he has with Kylo, with Ben Solo, it's a joke. It's an embarrassment. It turns this character into nothing but something to look at on an amusement park ride. The Disneyification of Luke Skywalker, if you will. And this is something maybe we should have seen coming, right? Rian Johnson is somewhat of a subversive filmmaker. He's a deconstructionalist. He's a postmodernist. In his eyes, there are no heroes. It's all a facade. It's all legend. And if you ever got to know a legend, you would be nothing but disappointed. They would fail you at every turn. They would undermine their own credibility. They would undermine their own legacy at every turn. And right there, in that action, when Luke Skywalker fully gives up on Ben Solo in The Last Jedi, he's dead. He's just been murdered. And we all saw it. We all bore witness. Sitting there in the theater, held captive, watching one of our childhood heroes be murdered, be spiritually sacrificed to petty, woke, modern politics. Because people, when they go see a movie nowadays, it has to reflect their value system. It has to be a virtuous action. And the modern paradigm, for people like Rian Johnson and most film writers, are that, yes, there are many people that are beyond saving. That we need to cut off things. We should not talk to people. We should cut off members of our family. We should not debate. Debate is dead. Conversation is over. There is good and there is bad. And there is nothing in between. I don't want to say that it's an evil worldview, but it's pretty goddamn close. And Luke Skywalker was sacrificed on an altar to that type of ideological positioning. Truly sad. Truly sad turn of events. And there was no saving him. There was no coming back from it either. Once you've established that Luke Skywalker is just kind of a petty monster, then what's the fucking point? What was the point of the original trilogy? What was the point of any of it? What was the point of the Skywalker saga? there was no point, apparently. None of it really mattered. Because it all ends in abject failure. Because that's what these creators think of their heroes. Even Mark Hamill himself was very confused. He tried to warn us kind of in interviews, saying things like, I felt like I was playing someone named Steve Skywalker. Luke's angry cousin. Oh, I just wanted to do a good job. It wasn't my story anymore. All of these things are basically coded messages, almost like crying out in desperation, don't be mad at me. I didn't do this. And with respect to Mark Hamill, he did sign on to these before he knew what was going to happen with his character. He just didn't think in a million years that they would actually just betray the character completely. He probably assumed that the people in charge would steward this in a way that was appropriate and honor the legacy of the earlier films, the original stories, the intent of the original stories. But no, that's not what happened. So I sit here now before you, before God and all creation, and I mourn. And I mourn the death of my old friend Luke Skywalker. Goodbye, old friend.